job number, because as we look at the big
To get out of your timeshare the right way. Hi, I'm Karen, owner of Lone Star Transfer. Getting out of your timeshare is probably at the top of your to-do list for 2018. Now is the time to make the call to simplify your life. We have an excellent track record and an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. So if you want to get rid of those high maintenance fees and annual bills for vacations you never take, call 844-284-4863 or visit us online at LoneStarTransfer.com. That's 844-284-4863. For over a decade, we have been working in timeshare owner advocacy to help those stuck in timeshares. Let us help you with a legal and ethical solution. Call us today for a private, no-obligation consultation. We will give you a solution that will get you out of your timeshare once and for all. Call 844-284-4863 or LoneStarTransfer.com. Satisfaction guaranteed.
The way you get your medicine prescriptions is now changing across America. GoGoMeds.com can deliver your medicine right to your door. Ask your doctor to send your prescription to GoGoMeds.com. Once you fill in your information, it's in the system and your prescription is delivered. It's just that easy. Go to GoGoMeds.com and use the promo code MIKE2018 and save $10 on your first prescription. That's GoGoMeds.com, and the promo code MIKE2018 gets you $10 off your first prescription.
Protecting data across modern decentralized networks presents challenges that traditional backup solutions can't handle. At best, you'll waste time and money managing multiple solutions. At worst, gaps in coverage will leave your data vulnerable. Barracuda Backup is a single cloud-integrated solution that simplifies the backup process and allows data replication to anywhere on your network, a private cloud, Barracuda's cloud, or to the AWS public cloud. Reclaim your data. Try Barracuda Backup free at barracuda.com/backup.
This is the Hugh Hewitt Show.
We all have a love-hate relationship with summer. Sure, the beach days and barbecues are a blast, but sometimes you want to leave all that blistering heat outside. Upgrading your old tattered window coverings with SelectBlinds.com is the easiest and cheapest way to stay cool this summer. Select Blinds offers a huge variety of blinds, shades, and shutters that help keep your home insulated and your electric bill low. SelectBlinds.com takes the guesswork out of ordering blinds online by offering high-quality blinds for an unbelievable price. Plus, Select Blinds has the most online reviews and 5-star ratings on the planet. Don't spend another summer sweating it out. Take advantage of SelectBlinds.com, the simple and smart way to get blinds. To get amazing deals on blinds, shades, and shutters, shop today at SelectBlinds.com. Remember to mention our show at checkout using the drop-down menu. Let SelectBlinds.com upgrade your home and keep you cool today. SelectBlinds.com.
The way you get your medicine prescriptions is now changing across America. GoGoMeds.com can deliver your medicine right to your door. Here's all you need to do. Your doctor gives you the prescription. You go online to GoGoMeds.com, put in your information, and make sure to include the promo code MIKE2018 to save $10 off your first prescription. Your meds are then delivered to your home, and you've saved money. It's that easy. No more waiting, no lines, no copay each month, and best of all, no wandering around the store aimlessly waiting for your prescription to be filled. GoGoMeds.com, the new way to get your medicine delivered right to your door. Remember that getting your prescription filled now means never having to go to a store again. GoGoMeds.com. GoGoMeds.com. Use the promo code MIKE2018 to save $10 off your first prescription. That's GoGoMeds.com, promo code MIKE2018.
This is how Guy Berkebile is using the new tax cuts at Guy Chemical.
When the tax cuts passed, we are seeing the effects immediately. The tax cuts are enabling me to take care of my employees and to pay them a higher wage. We are increasing bonuses this year 25 to 50%, which equates to thousands of dollars in additional pay for my employees.
If you're a business owner, tell us how you're using the tax cuts. Go to taxcutswork.com and share your comments. That's taxcutswork.com.
Get out in that kitchen and rattle those pots and pans. Get out in that kitchen and rattle those pots and pans. Well, roll my breakfast, 'cause I'm a hungry man. I said, shake,
When I hang out, I tend to bring some tunes with me, some chart history, some rock and roll birthdays. Mark Davis with you from Texas High. It is Bill Haley's birthday. Had to run a song. I know you could have done Rock Around the Clock, but let's do a tune with a breakfast reference in it. Rattle those pots and pans. Shake, rattle, and roll. Bill Haley, born this date 93 years ago. Born 1925. He died in 1980. He was only 55. About killed himself with alcohol and a ton of other health problems. But Bill Haley's birthday. A little shake, rattle, and roll as we begin. Well, they were shaking, rattling, and rolling last night in Montana.
I'm meeting with President Putin next week. They're going, will President Trump be prepared? You know, President Putin is KGB and this and that. You know what? Putin's fine. He's fine. We're all fine. We're people.
He's fine. We're all fine. We're people. There are plenty of people there in Montana. And it's funny, you may be thinking, what in the world is Trump doing going to North Dakota, Montana? Shouldn't he be doing these things in big major American cities? And the short answer is, he'll get there. But bottom line is he's got to go to the Dakotas to talk a little bit about Heidi Heitkamp. He's got to go to Montana, talk a little bit about John Tester, which he did. These are Democrats fighting in states that Trump won and won decisively. And by the way, he may be in a state that has, 2,500 people in it, but it's on TV. The excerpts are all over the place. So no matter where President Trump goes, he is speaking to millions. I was envious because the state of Montana is about as beautiful as America gets. All right, well, this is about as typical as America gets. In terms of modern politics, Wall Street Journal, here we go, on Scott Pruitt. Chalk one up for the swamp. The permanent progressive state finally ran Scott Pruitt out of the EPA on Thursday. And the tragedy is that Mr. Pruitt gave his enemies so much ammunition. President Trump announced on Twitter Thursday afternoon that he had accepted Mr. Pruitt's resignation. He cited the unrelenting attacks on me personally and his family that have taken a sizable toll on us all. He's right about unrelenting. Dozens of reporters have examined every furrow of Mr. Pruitt's forehead since he started the job. Press dispatches have suggested that he misused private air travel, sent staff on personal errands, bought $1,500 pens, among dozens of other allegations. Mr. Pruitt says most of this was false or exaggerated, and no doubt much of it was. He's also right that billionaires Tom Steyer and Mike Bloomberg were out to get him. You can add the EPA bureaucracy that leans left, the Green Lobby entwined with it, and their collaborators in the press corps. But this is not news, or it shouldn't have been, to Mr. Pruitt, who claimed to understand he was the biggest political target in the administration after President Trump. EPA is the holy sepulcher of progressive politics, and Mr. Pruitt posed an existential threat to command and control regulation that is the hallmark of the left's environmental agenda. Mr. Pruitt had to avoid even the hint of an ethical question, and he should have been walking around Federal Triangle handcuffed to a general counsel. Of particular odor were the claims that he used his official position to help his wife find work or even open a Chick-fil-A franchise. The daily assault undermined his effectiveness and ultimately his support at the White House. The shame is that Mr. Trump is losing his bravest deregulator. Mr. Pruitt started to roll back the Obama administration's Clean Power Plan that attempted to re-engineer the economy with little effect on climate change. He clamped down on the sue and settle racket that allows environmental groups to impose policy through consent decrees. He moved to redefine the waters of the United States rule that let EPA regulate ponds and potholes. Deputy Administrator Andrew Wheeler will take over, though acting directors are inherently transitional and thus less powerful. Then again, Mr. Wheeler may be there a while. Senate Democrats would block the Dalai Lama to run EPA if Mr. Trump nominated him. Fresh off its Pruitt defenestration, the left will be looking for new targets. So some advice for the rest of the Trump cabinet. Fly coach. Wall Street Journal and some tough truths on the unfortunate exit of Scott Pruitt. Well, does somebody think that Mr. Wheeler is from the Sierra Club? I mean, does anybody think that policies are going to be changing mightily? Tell you what, let's do. Let's talk about some real environmental policies with Tony Messier of Weekly Standard. We'll bring him in next and talk about some other things as well as we spend a Friday together. Mark Davis in for Hugh Hewitt.
You're
middle of a non-stop action-packed information blitz. The Hugh Hewitt Show is coming right back.
Mr. Rogers?
Yeah.
I like you.
I like you, my dear.
America is falling in love with Mr. Rogers again. Entertainment Weekly raves it's the movie we need right now.
Fred's theology was love your neighbor and love yourself. It was a communication right into their hearts.
Mr. Rogers' faith has inspired us all.
Thank you for whatever you do to bring joy and faith to our world today.
Won't You Be My Neighbor? Rated PG-13. May be inappropriate for children under 13. Now in theaters everywhere.
This is how Guy Berkebile is using the new tax cuts at Guy Chemical.
When the tax cuts passed, we are seeing the effects immediately. The tax cuts are enabling me to take care of my employees and to pay them a higher wage. We are increasing bonuses this year 25 to 50%, which equates to thousands of dollars in additional pay for my employees.
If you're a business owner, tell us how you're using the tax cuts. Go to taxcutswork.com and share your comments. That's taxcutswork.com.
This is the Hugh Hewitt Show.
Let's check the markets on the RFD Radio Network. I'm DeLoss Yonke. We're just a little bit higher for corn and soybeans to start the day. September corn's up 1 1/4 at 353.5. December's up 1 1/4, 365 3/4. August soybeans are up 2 at 841 1/4. November up 1 1/2, 857 1/4. Soybean meal is up $2.30 a ton. Soybean oil is down 8 points. And September wheat is off a nickel at $5.50 cents. Livestock futures are mixed. August hogs are up 35, 76.40. August cattle up a nickel at 106.42, although October is down a nickel. August feeders up 7, 152 and 65 cents. Crude oil futures hit 75 earlier in the week, but August right now is down 55, 72.39. Those are the opening numbers on the RFD Radio Network.
WGGH, Marion.
Boys soccer team stranded in a flooded cave complex as divers try to prepare the boys for escape.
They've had to reduce the number of Thai rescue workers sitting, helping, making sure those boys are safe and relatively healthy because those oxygen levels have dipped to dangerous levels in the past few days.
Correspondent David McKenzie at the scene for us. China says the U.S. is starting the biggest trade war in economic history. Both countries are imposing huge tariffs on each other today, $34 billion each. A better than expected jobs report for June, as we hear from Christine Romans.
213,000 new jobs created. That is much more than folks thought, and there were some revisions in April and May. We can tell you that when you look at these statistics, there are basically more jobs available than people trying to get them.
Wall Street reacting with gains across the boards. The Nasdaq is up 1%, the Dow up over 100 points. I'm Michael Toscano.
This advertisement is brought to you by DebtRid. Are you drowning in debt? Are you struggling to make minimum payments? Did you know that on average a household with at least one credit card struggles with over $10,000 in credit card debt? If this sounds like you, know that it's not your fault. Credit card debt happens to good people. Credit card companies lure you in with low introductory rates and low minimum payments. Before you know it, you're in over your head. We've helped thousands of good people just like you become debt-free with our Debt Reset program that will dramatically reduce your debt down to a fraction of what you owe. Our Debt Reset program is customized to get you debt-free in as little as 24 to 48 months with one low monthly payment. If you owe over $10,000 in credit card debt or even personal loans, call 800-832-1507. Now, there are no upfront fees or out-of-pocket expenses. You don't pay a dime until we succeed. Call now to see how the Debt Reset program can work for you. 800-832-1507. That's 800-832-1507. Again, 800-832-1507.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited.
They do not give up until you pay.
They put a lien on my house.
How about you? Do you owe back taxes? Call Tax Solutions now and get some help. For a limited time, the IRS offers a tax forgiveness program called the Fresh Start Initiative. Our team can make it easier for you to pay back taxes, avoid tax liens, and get a fresh start. Sometimes you just need a second chance.
I call Tax Solutions now, and they got the IRS off my back.
At Tax Solutions Now, our affiliates are all accredited by the Better Business Bureau and members of the National Association of Tax Professionals. professionals.
We saved our home and overcame the most powerful collection agency in the world.
Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now. Call 800-551-9618. 800-551-9618. 800-551-9618. 800-551-9618.
Southern Illinois weather.
For this afternoon, we'll see a chance of scatter showers and storms across the area, otherwise partly sunny and highs near 87, with a breezy northeast wind between 15 and 25 miles per hour. And then for tonight, skies will stay clear, lows falling back down to near 63 degrees, with a northeast wind between 5 and 10. And then on Saturday, plenty of sunshine, high near 85. From the Weather Eye Weather Center, I'm Nick Carlisle on Monster Radio AM 1150. Right now it's 81.
Friday on the Hugh Hewitt Show. Mark Davis filling in from down here, 660 AM, The Answer, DFW. I engaged in an interesting exercise the early part of this week. I went looking for records that were number one in America during various July 4ths. So I went digging back to 1982, found some Human League, and Don't You Want Me. There you go. Some Bill Haley, some Human League. Can you tell I'm here? Well, another thing that happens when I'm here, and Danielle is always so kind in saying, hey, whom would you like on the show? And so I say, well, I tend to go looking for stuff I've read in the prior day or two that's of interest in publications that I pore over. And darn if I didn't find a couple of things by a guy I've liked for a long time, Tony Messia at Weekly Standard. So we're going to do some greenhouse gases. We might do some pot laws. We might even touch on comfort peacocks. Tony, welcome to the Hugh Hewitt Show. Mark Davis, pleased to meet you. How are you?
Hey, good morning, Mark. Thanks for having me.
Let's dive in to what you call an inconvenient truth, and the timing could not be better as Scott Pruitt heads out the door. Tell us what you found about Trump administration figures on greenhouse gases.
Yeah, I want to apologize that these facts I'm about to share with you might not meet the dominant media narrative that people are becoming accustomed to, but you might find it surprising that actually there's a lot of environmental data coming out now about 2017, the first year of the Trump administration, and it shows that greenhouse gas emissions are continuing to fall. So they're down for 2017. They were down for 2016. They're projected to be down for the next several years, despite all of what you hear about the Trump administration and revving up the coal plants and harming the environment. That actually, if you look at the actual statistics, that the carbon emissions, greenhouse gas emissions, they are falling. So I thought that was kind of noteworthy.
Well, indeed it is. And for those of us who are conservative and really do like the planet, we really do care. We do not want the earth savaged on the altar of productivity. I've always been very proud of what my country has done in balancing industry and jobs with being good stewards of the planet. This is not a couple of years story. We do a much, much better job. The marketplace has provided us with both jobs and some environmental wisdom, and we've generally done a pretty good job of this through administrations, both Republican and Democrat, in the last generation.
Well, I think that's true, and the other important point, I think, is that this really, a lot of this, what's driving this trend has nothing to do with government, that these are market forces that are at work, that you have over the last decade. You've had the shale gas revolution, the markets and companies in search of lower energy prices that discovered a new way to get energy. And so, in doing that, that happens to be in a way that reduces greenhouse gas emissions. So, it's nothing that it's not as though Obama waved his magic wand or Trump is waving his magic wand, and all of a sudden, they control greenhouse gas emissions. There's a much larger economy here that's at play, and these market forces are what's driving a lot of that.
Tony Messia with us from Weekly Standard. You write about a lot of things. You had a lot of your chops as a business reporter, and obviously the EPA is an enormously business-focused agency. Tell me about how your day went, and really how the last few months have gone as you've seen the treacherous path of Scott Pruitt and what your ultimate take is on his exit.
Well, gosh, I mean, it seemed like he was doing a lot of right. In terms of policy, things were going the right direction. Peeling off some of these regulations and giving businesses a lot of certainty, a little more certainty than they had in the previous administration as far as what they can expect out of Washington. I talked to a lot of businesses, and a lot of them were pretty happy, with the direction that this new administration was heading. Obviously, you have a bunch of ethical types of questions that. That the media just kept beating on, that were, frankly, I thought sort of a little bit head-scratching, but I think policy-wise, it certainly seemed to be heading in the right direction.
Does anybody think that Mr. Wheeler or any successor is, as I said in the last segment or two, that they're going to get somebody from the Sierra Club? Do they think they've really achieved much? I mean, Pruitt was one of the bravest regulators in the Trump administration. I don't know if that bar can be exactly met, but certainly someone who's akin to him in views is going to be leading the EPA for every day that Trump is president.
Yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily see the administration taking this as an opportunity to switch courses policy-wise, and the guy that they have in there now, the acting director, is I think cut out of the same cloth, really, that Pruitt was. I saw a headline in Mother Jones the other day. I don't necessarily read that a lot, but it just
no, it's okay.
Like this is, it's a former coal guy and
coal lobbyist, right?
That kind of thing, and it said it's like they likened it to having a tobacco executive running the FDA or something like that. Where that it's just, they're don't worry, they're just as apoplectic as they were under Pruitt. So
and it's funny, and you've actually touched on something that is useful, and that is to take a look at what the left does say, what the left does do, how it does react, and the more inconsolable they are, the greater the likelihood that good things are happening. Let me pivot to because if you go to weeklystandard.com and find all the writers, like if you go to the Tony Messia page, you find other things that he's written. In our remaining minutes, let me take a look at maybe a couple of them. You've done something so incredibly important, shoveling sand so deeply against the tide. I know as America, we don't care about pot anymore. Hey, it's just weed, blah, blah, blah. You wrote Reefer Madness and said, look, and you know the way the pendulum is swinging, but you've reminded everybody that this is disastrous in so very many ways for our kids, for our health. Give me some of the main points that you struck in that article.
Yeah, that was a really in-depth piece. Went out to Colorado. Colorado was the first state to legalize marijuana for recreational use, and that was 4 or 5 years ago. So I said, let's go out there and see what it's like. And a lot of surprising things. A lot of people, I think, in their minds have this vision that marijuana is the same Cheech and Chong's, Woodstock. It's the same marijuana from the 70s and 80s. It's actually very different. It's more powerful. It's much more powerful because of the way they're able to grow it now. And they have these concentrates, these edibles. There's all kinds of different products out there, and there are some actual social costs. You talk to people, you talk to mothers, you talk to law enforcement, you talk to doctors. There are a lot of negative effects that I think don't necessarily come through in the media. So it's a pretty serious issue. People should really take a look at it. Like you said, the pendulum sort of swinging toward legalization all over the country, but out in Colorado, they're having all kinds of problems in some of these areas. With the drug cartels are still coming in, to grow and ship it out of state. You have a homeless population that's moved there. The doctors are saying they're seeing kids that are addicted. A lot of times we used to think, oh, marijuana, it's not addictive. Come on. But they are actually seeing signs of addiction, lots of problems, depression. I don't mean to be a buzzkill here, but,
quite literally.
If people want to, libertarians always say, well, if you want to do what you want in your own house kind of thing, but there are definite social costs.
Of course there are, and thank you, because I got a lot of libertarian blood coursing through my own veins, but these people who go, hey, man, it's just somebody, listening to some Allman Brothers in their apartment. No, it is not. A stoned society is everybody's business, and as these well-meaning, lovely people come at me on the show, I always ask them, give me one way that American society is better. Give me one way in which we are a better country, a better nation, by legalizing more intoxicants, because they always go, hey, man, alcohol. I know. So we tried to get rid of that. It's not going to work. So give me one way, any way in which we have a better society by legalizing more intoxicants, and the silence is often telling. And our last couple of minutes,
a lot of problems too. I mean, I don't know if people who support marijuana legalization, I don't know if they want a dispensary setting up right next to their house. You know what I mean?
Indeed so. In our remaining couple of minutes, Tony Messia, Weekly Standard, leave your emotional support peacock at home, please. Tell me what you wrote about that.
Well, I think anybody who's been to an airport lately, you see, this is a thing that's just developed in the last few years. People bringing all sorts of animals on these planes. People saying, well, it's my emotional support animal. And you've seen all kinds. It's almost as though people are pushing the envelope to see what kind of animal they can bring on board. You've seen like hedgehogs. You've seen, all kinds of, all kinds of animals. Peacocks. People claiming emotional support peacocks. As some of the airlines, I think, in the last couple of months have really started cracking down and saying, okay, wait a minute. We actually need a note from a doctor, a legitimate doctor. You need to prove that this is actually something that you have a medical condition. It's not just you wanting to bring your animal on the plane because you want to take it somewhere.
Yeah, if there is an animal that is to be there to assist someone with an actual disability, that's great. Even to something that you can't immediately see, like a PTSD, I totally get that. But just the animal that you want to cuddle with, because just no.
Well, let's be considerate of people around us. Let's not be so narcissistic that we just need to bring everything on board.
Thank you. All right, we want to thank Tony Messia, and in our last minute or so here, follow him on Twitter at Tony Messia. That makes sense. MECIA. So you're a Durham, or at least a Durham guy at college, came out of Duke, right?
Yes,
then went elsewhere on Tobacco Road, got that master's from UNC. When did you come out of there with that master's, may I ask?
That was about 1997.
Oh, God. Yeah. Well, back in the day, young man, I would travel that road as a University of Maryland journalism alumnus. We are no longer ACC. We're toiling in the Big Ten. That's not working out so well. But so many
it's been a few rough years.
Tell me about it. But so many just joyous memories of ACC basketball. And you did some years as business reporter and editor in a great town at the Charlotte Observer. What was that like?
Yeah, I mean, that was really something. I live in Charlotte now, and just working at a daily newspaper. When newspapers were back in their prime, it was a lot of fun. You could do a lot. Bet. You could go a lot of places, tell a lot of stories.
No doubt.
It was a good place to be.
Well, you're at a good place now at the Weekly Standard, and thanks for hanging out in this good place on the Hugh Hewitt Show. Tony, great to meet you. Thank you. You're on Twitter at Tony Messia, MECIA. Mark Davis in for Hugh Hewitt. Stick around.
Thanks, Mark. Two pieces of business to do. I've got to tell people about AMAC, the Association of Mature American Citizens, as Judge Kethledge gets unveiled. I hope it's Judge Kethledge. We really don't know. Whoever it is, I'll be supporting. Could be Brett Kavanaugh. AMAC will swing into action, the Association of Mature American Citizens. AMAC is designed to protect the rights of older Americans genuinely. Not like AARP, which is out there to expand the state generally. Not like AARP is out there to spend all your money on other people. AMAC works for you. So they're going to support a nominee by Donald Trump to the Supreme Court who is a strict constructionist, who believes in applying the law as it is written, who's going to be very, very tough on the regulatory agencies that have made life so very hard for you. AMAC is going to be in the fray, and you ought to be in AMAC. For $20, you get all those insurance plan options that you want. You get discounts on travel and restaurants. Most of you get membership in a million-strong, like-minded conservative seniors or near seniors. AMAC is the Association of Mature American Citizens. Go enjoy it today. Don't forget as well to relieffactor.com. I didn't think I'd forget to let a day go by without reminding you to take it. That's really what this has become, the reminder to take it. A lot of you have ordered it, and you just need the nudge every morning. Oh, yeah, I'm listening to you. It's in my car. That, by the way, is a great place to leave it, in your car. You'll have a water bottle right there. These packages are so easy. They won't make it dangerous for you to drive. They open that easily. You can take it that quickly. Remember, relieffactor.com is a daily devotional to feeling good. You want to be able to hit the brake without without making your knee ache. I got to make a rhyme out of it to get Tarzana Joe to do something with that. Icarian and curcumin, resveratrol, and omega, those 4 natural ingredients combine to support the temporary relief of minor aches and pains for only $19.95. You start by finding the button for ReliefFactor.com at HughHewitt.com or going straight there, ReliefFactor.com. Next time you're at my website and you see it, just click it. Give it a try, like hundreds of thousands of other people every single day. ReliefFactor.com. Come right back for Mark Davis.
This is the Hugh Hewitt Show.
Are you hiring? Do you know where to post your job to find the best candidates? Posting your job in one place isn't enough to find quality candidates. If you want to find the perfect hire, you need to post your job on all the top job sites. And now you can. With ZipRecruiter.com, you can post your job to 100 plus job sites, including social media networks like Facebook and Twitter, all with a single click. Find candidates in any city or industry nationwide. Just post once and watch your qualified candidates roll in to ZipRecruiter's easy-to-use interface. No juggling emails or calls to your office. Quickly screen candidates, rate them, and hire the right person fast. Find out today why ZipRecruiter has been used by over 400,000 businesses. And right now, listeners can try ZipRecruiter for free by going to ZipRecruiter.com/America. That's ZipRecruiter.com/America. One more time. To try it for free, go to ZipRecruiter.com/America.
If credit card debt has you down, nonprofit Trinity Debt Management can help. Trinity will consolidate your accounts into one easy-to-manage monthly payment, put a stop to late fees, and drastically reduce your interest. You'll pay thousands less than you originally owed. It's not a loan. It's a way to become debt-free and possibly improve your credit score. So call Trinity and talk to a certified counselor. They'll explain their proven program to you with no pressure, just practical solutions and hope for tomorrow. Are you ready to pay off your credit cards in less time for less money? Then call for a free no-obligation debt analysis and become debt-free for keeps. If your debt has you down, we should talk. Gather up your bills and call this toll-free number for a free no-obligation debt analysis. Call 1-800-990-6976. That's 1-800-990-6976. 1-800-990-6976.
Hi, it's Hugh Hewitt for ReaganPrivacy.com. Imagine a politician saying this today. I have wondered at times what the Ten Commandments would have looked like if Moses had run them through the U.S. Congress. That's a quote from Ronald Reagan. He showed us, through his life, his faith, and with his words, that Judeo-Christian values and principles matter. You can help spread the legacy of Ronald Reagan. You can do it by getting a Reagan email address. Right now, if you have a Gmail, AOL, Yahoo, or other big tech company email address, you help them market their service with every email you send. In return, they scan your emails and target you with unwanted advertising. Thanks to our sponsor, ReaganPrivacy.com, you can instead share the Reagan name with every email you send. And they won't scan your emails. They will leave you alone. Get an email address that you'll be proud to own at ReaganPrivacy.com. Your very own personal private email address is available to you at ReaganPrivacy.com. Go get your Reagan email address right now at ReaganPrivacy.com. That's ReaganPrivacy.com.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dynavite for help.
Order a 90-day supply of Dynavite. Everything we tried failed except the Dynavite.
Pick up 2 bottles of Super Mega Fish Oil.
Get the 3rd bottle free. Packed with omega-3, DHA, and EPA fatty acids.
Super Mega is great for your dog's immune system, healthy skin, and soft, shiny fur.
Dogs love it. Try Super Omega Fish Oil.
Buy 2, get 1 free.
At Dynavite.com.
DINOVITE.com.
Some whiskey in your water, sugar in your tea. What's all these crazy questions they're asking me? This is the craziest party that could ever be. Don't turn on the lights, cause I don't want to see. Mama told me not to come.
Obvious Three Dog Night, right?
Mama told me not to come.
Who wrote it? That would be the great Randy Newman. Little Mama Told Me Not to Come. Curated from the chart history books because Three Dog Night's Mama Told Me Not to Come was #1 this week. It was the big July 4th weekend, summer weekend song. in 1970 during this week. Mark Davis in for Hugh Hewitt. Follow me on Twitter at Mark Davis, M-A-R-K Davis. And if you're of a mind to do so, I cranked out a book. It's called Upside Down, How the Left Turned Right into Wrong, Truth into Lies, and Good into Bad. That's a lot of subtitle. Just do Mark Davis Upside Down on Amazon or Google or wherever fine books are sold. It's about 125 talk show topics in book form because the left has gotten away with stuff in recent years, recent decades, making people believe that conservatives don't like black people, that guns are inherently bad, that human productivity is definitely making the planet hotter, just various things. And you got to push back against this. And thankfully we are now from the presidency on down. But if you want to do so in your own personal life, grab yourself a copy of Upside Down. Mark Davis, Upside Down. Grab a copy there on Amazon or Barnes & Noble or Google or wherever you go looking for books. Well, if you go looking for some audio of President Trump last night, there's plenty of it. He was in Montana. He was in rare form. Let us begin with cut number 2.
Tell you what, because I see it. I see the way they write. They're so damn dishonest. And I don't mean all of them, because some of the finest people I know are journalists, really. Hard to believe when I say that. I hate to say it, but I have to say. But 75% of those people are downright dishonest. Downright dishonest. They're fake. They're fake. They quote sources. A source within the Trump organization said. A source. They don't have a source. They never use names anymore. In the old days, you have to use names. Jim Smith said that Donald Trump is a bad guy. They don't do that anymore. They say a source within the administration. They make the sources up. They don't exist in many cases. Anytime you say, I saw one of them said 15 anonymous sources. I don't have 15 people in the White House. I mean, forget it.
Okay, let's pause. I don't have 15 people in the White House. And my journalism degree does cry out. It does say that anonymous sources have been a key part of journalism, like forever. But hey, we're having a good time here. And he continued to do so as he started to talk about the protester at the Statue of Liberty, whose name I will never speak. I mean, it's not like she gunned down a bunch of people in a newspaper or a school, but people who pull stuff like this are trying to get in the paper and trying to get on their names spoken, and I'm just not going to do it. Isn't it just like the left? Isn't it just like the overreaching, unhinged left to try to attract people to their cause by screwing up July 4th for thousands and thousands of people? Well, in cut number 6 here's President Trump on our Statue of Liberty climber.
You deserve a senator who actually votes like he's from Montana.
He's getting to it.
Tester
Don't worry.
even voted no on enhanced vetting for refugees from terror-stricken countries. You believe this one? What's going on with that? The Democrats want open borders, which means lots of crime. We want tough, strong, powerful borders, and we want no crime, and we're going to protect ICE. We protect ICE. They protect us, and we protect them.
Wait for it.
They protect us, and we protect them. You saw that clown yesterday on the Statue of Liberty? You see the guys that went up there? I wouldn't have done it. I would have said, let's get some nets and let's wait till she comes down. Just get some nets. Really. You see those guys, the bravery of doing that? What a group. We protect ICE and our Border Patrol and our law enforcement and our fire department but we protect our people.
Yes, we do. I would like to get a hold of somebody at that rally and have that person at every rally that Trump does, no matter where, because there's just something about somebody going, whatever the president says. Bring that guy like to Connecticut. Bring whoever that is to wherever the next Trump rally may be, because it certainly punctuates the mood. All righty, punctuating various moods here on a Friday on the Hugh Hewitt Show, and it is the 6th of July. I hope your 4th was filled with blessings, filled with patriotism, and this is a show filled with all kinds of interesting things. So we are going to head into the pages of the Washington Post when we come back, and we're going to take a look at the reporting of Juliet Eilperin. She's been on top of the Pruitt stories for a long time. Now, that's some nitpicky stuff in there, so Juliet and I are going to have a chat. But she's also done some really interesting writing on a number of other things, and so we'll look at the Pruitt story, we'll look at various other things. Margaret Brennan's going to join us next hour with a preview of this weekend's Face the Nation, so just get ready. It's a Hugh Hewitt Show. I'm Mark Davis with you from Dallas, and it is wonderful to be here with you. Stick around. Much more to come.
Portions of the Hugh Hewitt Show are brought to you by Alliance Defending Freedom.
But you absolutely, positively need the truth. This is where you turn. This is the Hugh Hewitt Show.
If you are a timeshare owner, listen up. I have some great news for you. Lone Star Transfer is the #1 company to help get you out of that timeshare you do not want. No one wants to deal with a timeshare, but when you have to, no one does it better than my friends at Lone Star Transfer. Imagine never having to pay another maintenance fee. What a great feeling. Everyone knows you don't have to own a timeshare to go on beautiful vacation. Free up that cash to go where and when you want. Wouldn't it be great to be out of your timeshare quickly and effortlessly? Lone Star Transfer will do the work to get it done. Lone Star Transfer has helped over 6,000 clients, and they have an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau, all with an outstanding success rate. Don't let another day go by being anxious. Call now and get out of that timeshare once and for all. 844-310-3117. That's 844-310-3117. 844-310-3117, and say goodbye to that timeshare, or go to LoneStarTransfer.com.
This is the Hugh Hewitt Show.
Southern Illinois weather.
For this afternoon, we'll see a chance of scatter showers and storms across the area, otherwise partly sunny and highs near 87, with a breezy northeast wind between 15 and 25 miles per hour. And then for tonight, skies will stay clear, lows falling back down to near 63 degrees, with a northeast wind between 5 and 10. And then on Saturday, plenty of sunshine, high near 85. From the Weather Eye Weather Center, I'm Nick Carlisle on Monster Radio AM 1150. Right now it's 81.
Funding Forever Thrift Store is a nonprofit resale shop with all profits going to Finding Forever Animal Rescue. Funding Forever Thrift is run by all volunteers, so as much money as possible can go to the animals. Funding Forever is located on D. Young Street, across from Ray Fosse Park, right next to Huck's. Funding Forever Thrift is open Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 10 to 5, and Saturday, 10 to 2. We also have some adoptable cats at the thrift store for anyone to visit.
W253CR Marion, now at 98.5 FM, and the legendary
WGGH Marion.
Short window, Pompeo's progress. I'm Michael Toscano. Time is growing short in Thailand to rescue the boys' soccer team stranded in a flooded cave complex. Heavy rains are coming and their air supply is running out. David McKenzie is on scene.
The officials saying that they have a short window because of the rain that could be coming in the next few days, and critically because of the oxygen levels in that cabin where the boys have been held up now for more than 2 weeks.
The oxygen level down to 15%, dangerously low. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo is in North Korea working his way toward a meeting with Kim Jong-un, as we hear from correspondent Andrew Stevens.
He's met with Kim Jong-chul. He is the right-hand man to Kim Jong-un. We don't know because there's no firm timeline on who is meeting who and when, but some people are saying that if this meeting with Kim Jong-chul goes well, Pompeo will then move on to meet with Kim Jong-un himself.
Pompeo hoping to get Un moving on denuclearization. Another former Ohio State University wrestler is accusing Ohio Congressman Jim Jordan of knowing a team doctor was molesting athletes when Jordan was an assistant coach for the team. Jordan denies the charges. A major heat wave in California and the West and extreme fire danger. Jim Roop has the latest from L.A.
Record-breaking temperatures.
Alex Tardy with the National Weather Service says a dome of high pressure is the culprit. Add to that the remnants of Tropical Cyclone Fabio pulling what breeze there would be out to sea, so even
the low temperatures are not going to be very low.
There won't be much relief at night. This is prompting warnings of heat-related illnesses and extreme fire danger as dozens of major wildfires continue to burn out of control in the West.
A strong jobs report for June seems to have eased concern on Wall Street over the U.S. and China slapping huge tariffs on each other's products overnight. The Nasdaq's up 88 points, 1.15%. The S&P up 24. The Dow gaining 102 points. I'm Michael Toscano.
I'm Chuck McDowell, CEO of Wesley Financial Group and timeshare cancellation advocate. I was sued by the largest timeshare company in federal court for simply helping people cancel their timeshare that they had been lied to about. The jury sized me up and came back with a verdict after only 20 minutes. And yes, I won.
My husband and I are more than grateful to everyone at Wesley Financial Group. You know, thanks to Chuck and his team, we feel as though a weight has been lifted and we can move on without the worry of a troublesome timeshare.
Whether you owe $10,000 to $250,000 on your timeshare, it's my mission to get you out of your timeshare, eliminate your payments, and get them off your back permanently. And we proudly hold an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau.
Want to learn more about getting rid of your troublesome timeshare? Call Wesley Financial Group now for your free consultation. Call 800-513-4444. That's 800-513-4444. 800-513-4444.
This hour's news is brought to you by Triple E Barbecue in Marion.
Up-to-the-minute local information when you need it. This is a Southern Illinois News Center update.
The Jackson County Sheriff's Office says a Makanda man died when a tree fell on him. Deputies say it happened Monday around 10:30 a.m. in rural Makanda. 44-year-old Brian Addington was cutting trees down in his yard when a tree he was in the process of cutting fell onto him and killed him, according to deputies. First responders arrived and found that Addington had succumbed to his injuries before they could get there. He was pronounced dead at the scene. 6 Jackson County board members want to stop the state from raising your property taxes to pay off pension debt. The move comes after a report from the Federal Reserve Bank in Chicago suggested the best way to pay off Illinois' $130 billion in unfunded pension debt is a statewide 1% property tax on top of local property tax levies for the next few decades. If that happens, Illinois would have the highest property taxes in all of the 50 states. To stop that from happening, the 6 board members are proposing an advisory referendum question be placed on the November 6th general election ballot. The question on the ballot would appear in this form: should the Illinois General Assembly amend the state constitution to ban the implementation of a statewide 1% property tax increase? Yes or no? Those who do not want to see their property taxes raised should vote yes. A Mount Vernon man faces murder charges after investigators say he shot his brother. It happened around 5:45 p.m. Wednesday in the 9800 block of East Webb Road. Deputies got a 911 call from a woman who said her husband had been shot by Matthew Sloan. Investigators identified the victim as 34-year-old David Sloan of Mount Vernon. Multiple agencies are still investigating. Online court records show Matthew Sloan faces 3 counts of murder. He appeared in court Thursday via video conference and is being held on a $3 million bond. Sloan is due back in court August 1st for a preliminary hearing. With this update in the Monster Radio WGGH Southern Illinois News Center, I'm Tim Petrovich.
Triple E Barbecue gives you independence from the kitchen.
No cooking tonight.
So go grab a couple of those famous barbecue sandwiches. And while you're there, order some barbecue ribs for 4th of July. Call 618-997-1369. 618-997-1369. Located at 904 East Young Street. Whether you need food for your next party or you need catering, Triple E does it all. And they'll help you declare independence from your kitchen. Happy Independence Day from Triple E Barbecue.
Southern Illinois weather.
For this afternoon, we'll see a chance of scatter showers and storms across the area, otherwise partly sunny and highs near 87, with a breezy northeast wind between 15 and 25 miles per hour. And then for tonight, skies will stay clear, lows falling back down to near 63 degrees, with a northeast wind between 5 and 10. And then on Saturday, plenty of sunshine, high near 85. From the Weather Eye Weather Center, I'm Nick Carlisle on Monster Radio AM 1150. Right now it's 84.
Dexter's Yard Care can take all the pain and strain out of maintaining your residential or business lawn. Think about it. After buying and maintaining the equipment, then all the time and sweating, and of course the gas, it may be more affordable and a lot easier to hire Dexter's Yard Care. And they're 100% fully insured. So if he cuts his foot off in your lawn, you're not responsible for it. Dexter's Yard Care, where they really do care. Call for your free estimate today. 618-926-6645 or Facebook.com/Dexter's Yard Care.
Monster Radio WGGH. Keeping Southern Illinois connected.
Morning, Glory, and bonjour. Hi, America. It's Hugh Hewitt. I'm on the West Coast on vacation, but Mark Davis down there in Dallas, he's decided to come in and fill in for me because he is a great American and a wonderful human being. He's always full of good cheer and brings, of course, memories of a time when Mark used to do every Friday when Bill Bennett was on that great 4-day-a-week schedule we all long to achieve. That you have to be a cabinet secretary, I think, to get that. But Mark Davis, thank you, and take it away.
That I will, Hugh. Thank you. Hour number 2 of the Hugh Hewitt Show on this Friday, the 6th day of July, joining you from the studios I occupy each morning at 6:60 a.m. The Answer in DFW. But it's always a joy to come in and hang out on the always news-heavy Hugh Hewitt program, and it is a news-heavy week. Here comes the Supreme Court pick on Monday evening. I just want to begin as we look into the Pruitt exit, which we're going to do with Juliet Alperin at the Washington Post here in about 30 seconds. But with every hour beginning, can we just send up a prayer for those kids in that cave? When those kids were discovered alive a few days ago, I rejoiced, and I couldn't imagine the joy, the 180-degree emotional turn for parents who thought, maybe my kids are dead in that cave. They are alive. They seem to be doing okay, whatever the definition of okay is when you've been in a cave for a couple of weeks. But now are we going to be able to get them out of there alive? And a diver has gone in, a gentleman by the name of Saman Gunan, and he died overnight, shuttling oxygen tanks into and out of there as they try to cobble together some way to get those kids and that coach out of that cave. Let us lift up in prayer everyone involved in that operation and those kids and that coach and everyone, and just ask the Lord's help in getting this to a good resolution, okay? All right, again, follow me on Twitter at Mark Davis, at MARK Davis. And so, listen, if the point here of Pruitt's exit is that the Washington had the long knives out for him, the establishment had the long knives out for him, the swamp had the long knives out for him. Okay, you can say that all day, and I will. But doggone it, man, don't give people don't hand them the knives with which to skewer you. So covering all the stuff that's been going on in this, covering national affairs and which is a whole lot of things over at the Washington Post, is Juliet Alperin. Juliet, Mark Davis in for Hugh Hewitt. Very nice to meet you. How are you?
Great to meet you too. I'm doing well.
It's been a busy thing. You've been on the Pruitt beat for a good while, and it has given you much material.
Absolutely. I have to say, when I started covering Mr. Pruitt, a year and a half ago, I didn't really anticipate that I'd be writing about, breaking stories on everything from Chick-fil-A to mattress searches and other things. We were focused on the rolling back of a lot of climate regulations, water policy, things like that. But certainly the story has evolved over time.
Is it, I don't know, you'd almost need to go back and find other people for an apples and apples comparison, but a lot of the Pruitt fan base, which is substantial in conservative land, says, okay, you got the B&B deal, you got the phone booth, and you've got the travel arrangements, but would this have sunk almost any other regulator? Wasn't there an extra energy to get rid of him because he had been particularly an annoyance to the environmental left?
Well, what I would say is there's no question that Scott Pruitt came under intense scrutiny, in part because some of his policies, the president's policies, had angered environmentalists, and they were absolutely scrutinizing his behavior. But I think the most important thing to keep in mind is that many of the allegations that have surfaced have come through conversations that Trump political appointees, some of Mr. Pruitt's hand-picked aides, have had with congressional investigators. We obviously talked to a range of people, but it really was his role managing not just career employees, but also his own political aides that really sparked many of these controversies, and that's really important to keep in perspective.
Well, let's go to one that you particularly covered. Tell me the one about because there was that story just in the last day or two about the schedule, about things mysteriously vanishing from the schedule. There was an aide who said, wait a minute, there was somebody on the schedule, and now he's not, and it turned out to be Cardinal George Pell. Tell me that story.
Of course. So Cardinal George Pell, who is facing allegations in his home country of Australia for sexual misconduct, attended a couple of events with Administrator Pruitt when Mr. Pruitt and his aides went to Rome and spent time at the Vatican and with Vatican officials in a series of events that were arranged by the Federalist Society's Executive Vice President, Leonard Leo. And there were aides who raised concerns about the fact that this person was under scrutiny, and as a result, after the fact, his chief of staff did excise references to Cardinal Pell from any of the schedules that were ultimately released to the public.
Well, all right, where's the bar set there? Well, I guess we know where the bar is set now, but generally speaking,
there's a federal law, the Federal Records Act, which prohibits kind of the destruction of federal records, and there's a real question about what does it mean to alter the schedule after the fact. Now, again, this certainly is debatable because these were, as Pruitt's aides would argue, kind of private dinners, although policy was addressed in them, particularly the issue of climate change and whether the conclusion that human activity is driving climate change should be subject to a federal review. So there was actually EPA policy discussed between the administrator and Cardinal Pell at that dinner.
And that's exactly what I meant by the bar question. I think you had a very good answer there, that people get to have private conversations. They get to run into even significant folks and not have everything go into the record. But if it does go into the record, don't take it out.
Yeah, I think most people would come to that consensus, although, obviously there are people who might differ with it, but the general consensus would be that, especially because there was a policy nexus there.
Gotcha. All right, well, Juliet Eilperin is here. Your Twitter handle is just your last name, right? Eilperin, Eilperin, am I correct?
You got it.
Very good. Well, in our remaining couple of minutes, since we've never spoken, done a little homework, and you were the Post's House of Representatives correspondent and national environmental reporter, and apparently you gleaned a book from each of those experiences. Let's do first, and everybody hop to Amazon. When did you write Fight Club Politics?
Fight Club Politics came out in 2006, which is really about how Republicans took control of the House of Representatives and what ensued after that, and the political polarization that we've seen among both parties in recent years.
All right, I want to offer a premise and see what you in particular have to say about it, because the subtitle on that is how partisanship is poisoning the House of Representatives. Civility is a rare commodity, and I mean, there's the story told of Reagan and Tip O'Neill who would beat each other's brains in and then go have a beer. Probably urban myth, but a lovely story nonetheless. I don't know if the problem is so much partisanship, but the style with which we practice it. Nobody can disagree without being disagreeable anymore. I think the search for common ground is largely folly. I love that there are people strongly on the right, strongly on the left, and I would love for them to duke it out with every energy they have without being personal, without being ugly, because that's how stuff actually gets done. One side wins, one side loses.
You make a great point, and part of what I try to argue in that book is actually, lawmakers stopped spending as much time in Washington, which is understandable. They were really focused on spending time in their districts, but as a result, they didn't get to know each other as people.
Yep.
And some of these attacks have become so vicious, which obviously we've seen this now play out, in spades, that it really showed that they couldn't even conceive of people on the other side being human beings. And that's part of what I was trying to argue in the book.
That's a superb point. Juliet Eilperin, Fight Club Politics. Okay, here's a head-snapping change of direction. When did you write Demon Fish Travels Through the Hidden World of Sharks?
I read that came out in 2011, and exactly, it was a refreshing change from my political coverage.
Oh, really? From writing about Congress to writing about sharks? Is that really that much of a change? Boom. Sorry. Insert your own joke here. All right, well, let me ask you, so what do I, as a layperson and occasional beach visitor, what do I probably not know about sharks?
Well, I think one of the things people really don't know is that sharks, as the apex predators in the sea, who have been around for millions of years, play a really critical role in maintaining the balance in the ocean. That essentially, if we got rid of all the sharks, people might feel a little better about surfing, but at the same time, we actually wouldn't have, the incredible diversity we have underwater. So part of what I was writing about is we're obsessed with them, they freak us out, but there's actually a reason to keep them around.
And that's probably true of almost every creature that we don't like or that occasionally bites us or kills us or eats us. They're God put them there for some reason in the big chain. True or not true that a shark must, I've heard the analogy that Woody Allen, like a relationship or something, it has to keep moving to survive. Must a shark constantly be coursing water through it? If a shark stops, does it die, or is that just stupid?
It's a little exaggerated. What plenty of sharks do, for example, including nurse sharks, is they do need water washing over their gills to give them oxygen, but they can hang out at the bottom of the of the seabed. You know, they can just hang out there and have the water wash over them, and they'll be fine. So,
very cool.
You know, and I always say that no one who has ever bought and read my book has ever been struck by a shark. It's a streak that I hope to keep up for decades.
Hey, coincidence? I think not. So go get that on Amazon. Juliet, pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being with us on the Hugh Hewitt Show. Thanks.
Thanks so much, Mark.
At Eilperin, that's her last name, Eilperin, Eilperin, Juliet Eilperin on Twitter. You can go get Demon Fish and Fight Club Politics and make your own Congress versus Sharks joke on your own time. Mark Davis filling in for Hugh Hewitt. Must be Friday. Be right back.
It's another non-stop action-packed information blitz. Kind of makes you tingle, doesn't it? Hang on. Hugh Hewitt will be right back.
Even though the 4th of July is behind us, every July is our Independence Month. Become a patriot. Declare your independence from big mobile companies. Break free from big mobile's hidden fees, the line charges, the complicated pricing. Start celebrating simplicity with Patriot Mobile. And the pricing is simple and straightforward. Patriot Mobile also covers your switching and installment fees as a contract credit, up to $1,500 per account when you join. And from each Patriot's bill comes a contribution to the vital donations of conservative organizations that fight for freedom every day. What a great month to remember that. This month, enjoy a new Motorola E4 or an E4 Plus smartphone for only $4 a month. Save over 40% on this terrific water-resistant phone, perfect for summer, and help bring about conservative change. Independence has never sounded so liberating. Don't wait. Offer only available while supplies last. Make the switch today by calling 1-800-A-PATRIOT or by visiting www.patriotmobile.com/you. That's patriotmobile.com/you. Be a patriot. Switch. Make conservative change happen every time you use your cell phone. Patriot Mobile, your new cellular resource for patriotism.
She seems happier. Her fur is so much shinier, silkier, softer. She has really mellowed a lot.
Sheba is 105 lean pounds of shiny, smooth, happy dog for life.
The shedding has stopped. The itching has stopped.
Since 2001, we've helped more than 250,000 dogs get over their nutritional deficiency miseries.
And saved our customers bazillions in vet bills.
Everything we tried failed except the Dynovite.
Come to Dynovite for help.
DINOVITE.com.
If you want the dog to be healthy, you got to feed it something healthy.
The omega-3 fatty acids.
Flaxseed, zinc, alfalfa.
The digestive enzymes that are cooked out of regular dog food.
Dynovite is nutrition.
Dynovite for life.
Don't let your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy.
Come to Dynovite for help.
859-428-1000.
859-428-1000.
DINOVITE.com.
This is the Hugh Hewitt Show.
Are you a timeshare owner that would like to get out of your timeshare the right way? Hi, I'm Karen, owner of Lone Star Transfer. Getting out of your timeshare is probably at the top of your to-do list for 2018. Now is the time to make the call to simplify your life. We have an excellent track record and an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. So if you want to get rid of those high maintenance fees and annual bills for vacations you never take, call 844-284-4863 or visit us online at LoneStarTransfer.com. That's 844-284-4863. For over a decade, we have been working in timeshare owner advocacy to help those stuck in timeshares. Let us help you with a legal and ethical solution. Call us today for a private, no-obligation consultation. We will give you a solution that will get you out of your timeshare once and for all. Call 844-284-4863 or LoneStarTransfer.com. Satisfaction guaranteed.
The way you get your medicine prescriptions is now changing across America. GoGoMeds.com can deliver your medicine right to your door. Here's all you need to do. Your doctor gives you the prescription. You go online to GoGoMeds.com, put in your information, and make sure to include the promo code MIKE2018 to save $10 off your first prescription. Your meds are then delivered to your home, and you've saved money. It's that easy. No more waiting, no lines, no copay each month, and best of all, no wandering around the store aimlessly waiting for your prescription to be filled. GoGoMeds.com, the new way to get your medicine delivered right to your door. Remember that getting your prescription filled now means never having to go to a store again. GoGoMeds.com. GoGoMeds.com. Use the promo code MIKE2018 to save $10 off your first prescription. That's GoGoMeds.com, promo code MIKE2018.
This is how Dina Rubio is using the new tax cuts at Don Ramon Restaurant.
When we heard that the tax cut had passed, it was hallelujah time. We can now go ahead with our plans to expand. We would like to hire more people and back to the employees that already have been with us for a while. Job Creators Network has given us a voice.
If you're a business owner, tell us how you're using the tax cuts. Go to taxcutswork.com and share your comments. That's taxcutswork.com.
It's the Hugh Hewitt Show for Friday, July 6th. Mark Davis filling in down here in DFW at 660 a.m. Answer little George Harrison, give me love, give me peace on earth. Why? What's the occasion here? Well, the album on which this appears, Living in the Material World, was released this week in 1973. All right, a little chart history, little walk through some tunes here as we enjoy the Hugh Hewitt Show together. Coming up in just a little bit, we'll take a look at what's going on Face the Nation with Margaret Brennan. Let's take a look at what went on last night in Montana. A couple of other excerpts of President Trump in rare form. Why don't we take a look at cut 7, where we talk a little McCain, a little Obamacare, a little Tester, all packed into 44 seconds. Go.
Where have they gone? John Tester voted no on repealing Obamacare. And even though we got a little surprise vote that evening, you all remember that evening, somebody came in with a thumbs down after campaigning for years that he was going to repeal and replace. But that's okay, because we, for the most part, have already done it. And we have great health care coming out, and it just came out 2 weeks ago. And we got rid of the individual mandate and lots of other things. Sometimes we have to do it the hard way, but that's okay too. John Tester voted no on tax cuts for Montana.
Let's continue on cut 8, because he talks about that. That's the point of going to Montana, is to flip that Tester seat into a Republican seat, and to invoke some things that are certain to energize Republican voters, and that is the name of key Democrats like Schumer, Pelosi, Maxine Waters. Enjoy.
This is a really good man. This is a man that loves the people of Montana, loves the people of this country. It's time to retire liberal Democrat John Tester. And you're going to get on your side a real Montana fighter. You see it. You've been watching for the last 6 months. He is a tough cookie. He's a fighter. He's going to fight for you, Matt Rosendale. So John Tester says one thing when he's in Montana, but I will tell you, I'm testament to it, he does the exact opposite when he goes to Washington. A vote for John Tester is a vote for Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, and the new leader of the Democrat Party, Maxine Waters.
Yeah, tremendous. Just tremendous. Oh, my. I invoked Maxine in a lot of talk radio yesterday as a result of a story that emerged from my state. Down the road in San Antonio, maybe you caught wind of this. There is a 16-year-old sitting at Whataburger, as many Texas 16-year-olds are prone to do, wearing a Trump MAGA hat, which maybe not that many 16-year-olds are prone to do. But in Texas, you might see it with a little more commonality. And another Whataburger patron, a 30-year-old ostensible adult, saw this and was none too thrilled by it, whipped the hat off the kid's head, bringing more than a few hairs with it, took a drink and threw it at this kid, and the kid was rolling smartphone camera on this at the entire time, and stalked off with the hat, stealing the hat, and cursing aplenty. And of course, it went immediately viral. Probably has 2 million views by now. And so I was immersed in a ton of talk show activity about should somebody just hunt this guy down and charge him with assault. I would be fine with that. He instantly lost his job at a bar north of San Antonio. But then the question arose, was this Maxine Waters' fault? Well, I don't know if the fellow who did this even knows who Maxine Waters is, but the bottom line is the notion of in-your-face, rude confrontation. This is their new thing now. And then I started taking calls from people who said, I'm taking my Trump sticker off my truck because my wife borrows my truck sometimes and I'm worried about her. Welcome to Today's Left. Mark Davis in for Hugh Hewitt.
You're in the middle of a non-stop action-packed information blitz. The Hugh Hewitt Show is coming right back.
Look, we all have a love-hate relationship with summer. Hugh Hewitt here for SelectBlinds.com. Sure, the beach days and the barbecues are a blast, but sometimes you want to leave all that blistering heat outside. Upgrading your old tattered window coverings with SelectBlinds.com is the easiest and cheapest way to stay cool this summer. Select Blinds offers a huge variety of blinds, shades, and shutters that help keep your home insulated and your electric bill low. SelectBlinds.com takes the guesswork out of ordering blinds online by offering high-quality blinds for an unbelievable price. Plus, Select Blinds has the most online reviews and 5-star ratings on the planet. Don't spend another summer sweating it out. Take advantage of SelectBlinds.com, the simple and smart way to get blinds. To get amazing deals on blinds, shades, and shutters, shop today at SelectBlinds.com. Remember to mention the Hugh Hewitt Show at checkout using the drop-down menu. Let SelectBlinds.com upgrade.
Recover or Die. It's a national campaign aimed at the education and awareness of the devastating effects of opioid and heroin abuse and curbing drug addiction in the United States. Recover or Die was founded by famous recovering musicians. They've been where you are right now, and they want to spread the message of hope and recovery. So here's the deal. They're working hand in hand with addiction recovery specialists and top-tier recovery centers nationwide to help you recover and get sober. Recover or Die is embarking on a huge national outreach tour to promote anti-addiction messages through a great blend of music and education. So if you, a loved one, or someone you know has a problem with drugs or alcohol and they need help, call us right now or visit recoverordie.com. Please.
800-357-8110. 800-357-8110. That's 800-357-8110.
Of the universe. This is Monster Radio 98.5 FM and 1150 AM.
WGGH, Marion.
Monster Radio, local sports.
For the second straight night, the Southern Illinois Miners managed to score just one run, falling to the Traverse City Beach Bums in the rubber game of their 3-game series in Michigan. The Miners trailed 2-1 heading into the 8th inning, but gave up 3 runs in the 8th to lose 5-1. Southern Illinois is 24-20, tied for first in the Frontier League West Division with Evansville and River City. The Miners return home for a 3-game set with Windy City heading into the Frontier League All-Star break next week. Yuli Gurriel capped off a 2-run rally with a walk-off single as the Astros edged the White Sox 4-3 in Houston. Joaquim Soria was charged with the blown save and the loss. Omar Narvaez and Lurie Garcia homered in the defeat. The White Sox and Astros play the second of their 4 games at Minute Maid Park tonight. Chicago is 30-57. Reynaldo Lopez gets to start for the Sox. Houston counters with Lance McCullers Jr. In other Sox news, Chicago signed first-round pick Nick Madrigal. Tonight's first pitch in Houston is set for 7:10. You can hear all the action right here on Monster Radio WGGH with pregame coverage starting at 6:35. Jed Jerko hit a 3-run homer in the first inning, and the Cardinals cruised to an 11-2 win over the Giants in San Francisco. Matt Carpenter and Harrison Bader also went deep for St. Louis. Luke Weaver outdueled Johnny Cueto for the win. 3 Blues players are filing for salary arbitration. Defenseman Joel Edmondson and forwards Dmitry Yaskin and Oscar Sundqvist all filed before yesterday afternoon's deadline. All 3 are now guaranteed contracts for next season but cannot receive offers from other clubs. With this sports update, I'm Tim Petrovich.
Proper nutrition is important for an active, healthy summer. But for many kids, the start of summer means the end of regular healthy meals. That's why the Summer Meals program offers kids 18 and under free meals while school is out. To learn more, go to summermealsillinois.org or text FOODIL to 877-877. Sponsored by the Illinois State Board of Education and USDA.
I wasn't prepared to be a caregiver to Mom, but a little over a year ago, we realized she couldn't take care of herself without our help. And well, how could I not be there for her? I had no idea how hard it would be, and just what I would need to know. Things I never thought of, like how to improve her mood, and even for me, ways to stay positive. Luckily, I found the Caregiving Resource Center from AARP. It had articles about the basics that got me started, but also information about the hurdles I was facing in this new role. I could even connect with experts and hear from others who had been in my place. I know this road we're on isn't an easy one, but I'm really happy to have the extra help for her and for me.
Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving. Articles, tips, and tools to help you both care for your loved one and care for yourself. This message is brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Celebrate big savings during the Raven Tire 4th of July Freedom Sale. Free mounting and balance. Free alignment check. Free brake inspection with any set of 4 tires. Great summer rebates too on Goodyear, Michelin, and BF Goodrich tires for bigger savings. Free battery installations. Free wiper blade. Air or cabin installation with purchase of $25 or more. Celebrate big savings during the Raven Tire Freedom Sale through July 14th. Raven Tires Service.
Southern Illinois weather.
For this afternoon, we'll see a chance of scatter showers and storms across the area, otherwise partly sunny and highs near 87, with a breezy northeast wind between 15 and 25 miles per hour. And then for tonight, skies will stay clear, lows falling back down to near 63 degrees, with a northeast wind between 5 and 10. And then on Saturday, plenty of sunshine, high near 85. From the Weather Eye Weather Center, I'm Nick Carlisle on Monster Radio AM 1150. Right now it's 84.
Dave Ramsey, weekday afternoons, 1 till 4, on Monster Radio at AM 1150 and WGGH.net.
This week. Alrighty, let us pivot to this weekend's Face the Nation. One of the things I love as being a Hugh Hewitt Show listener is the chat with Margaret Brennan to see what is on this weekend show. Margaret, hey, Mark Davis filling in. Very nice to have you. How are you doing?
Great to be with you, Mark.
I understand you are going to welcome a woman I've known for a really long time, and her continued service is quite the inspiration. Arguably, if measured by raw number of votes ever cast, the most popular politician in Texas history, Kay Bailey Hutchison, and she is now a permanent representative of the U.S. to NATO. What are you guys going to talk about?
That's right. Ambassador Hutchison is going to be taking a diplomatic turn here as she tries to lay the groundwork for what is a highly anticipated summit next week between President Trump and our military allies who are part of the NATO alliance. There is a lot of apprehension, a lot of concern among some of those members regarding recent comments by the president, public questioning of the alliance. And so we'll talk to her about some of that and how they can kind of lay the groundwork at this summit to create some leverage for the president when he sits down with Vladimir Putin, because of course the concern among our allies is that Putin will be able to exploit any kind of crack that he sees in this military alliance when that meeting happens.
That is the running narrative. It's kind of funny. There's a running narrative from people who love the president that he's the master of all domains, and there's a running narrative from people who are not fond of him that he's just going to get played. He's going to get rolled. That it was going to happen in North Korea. One could argue. I don't think it did. And in Putin, and especially, there's a lot being made of the fact that is it their first moments that'll be with no aides, no translators, no nothing, just the two guys?
Well, the agenda that's set has an extensive one-on-one. When Ambassador John Bolton was on the show with me last week, he said this is a chance for just the two of them to sort of get to know each other. What's interesting is that they did something very similar last year at the G20 in Hamburg. They spent almost 2 hours together. Secretary Tillerson, then Secretary Tillerson, was in the room for part of that. But so this isn't really their first meeting, although it's kind of being billed and played up as one. But I got to tell you, a lot of the president's national security advisors and officials had been warning that this may not be good, not just on the optics front, but, Vladimir Putin is, as we speak, breaking the last deal he made with President Trump by bombing southern Syria. And so this idea now that they're going to broker a new deal, perhaps to enlist Russia's help to oust Iran from Syria, has some skeptics. Ambassador Bolton said this is really what they see as an opportunity. They no longer think that Bashar al-Assad, the dictator in Syria, is a strategic concern. It's really all about Iran and potentially partnering with Putin there.
Well, and therein lies the dichotomy. Russia did attempt certain types of mischief with the election. Didn't seem to have changed one vote, but just a lot of Facebook posts. But and so the Russians are not good guys. Putin is not a good guy. But the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Sometimes works, and there may be a valuable partnership there in battling global jihad.
Well, I guess that's the hope. The concern, of course, is that Russia's been saying that for years, that they want to really battle terrorism. In fact, that's a label they put on just about anything they do when it comes to some of the heavy-handed tactics that the U.S. military has said just really do not live up to U.S. standards on the battlefield. And Dan Coates, the Director of National Intelligence, just last month was saying, look, they're not knocking it off when it comes to election meddling. He was raising concerns about what's happening going into November, these attempts by Russia to influence things. So there's some tough talk that needs to happen in that room, even if the hope is that they can foster some kind of agreement on certain particular issues.
Margaret Brennan here, a couple more minutes, host of CBS's Face the Nation on Sunday. Okay, Republican Senator Joni Ernst on the guest list. Yeah. Senator Chris Coons, Democrat of Delaware. We'll go way out on a crazy limb and suggest maybe some Supreme Court talk.
Well, Senator Coons is on Judiciary, so you nailed it. We will be talking about what the president says is going to be a primetime address on Monday, this 9 p.m. unveiling of his Supreme Court pick. And according to CBS reporting, it looks like Judge Raymond Kethledge is in the front spot, at least at this point, to get that post. We'll also talk to Senator Ernst about something she's really concerned about, and that is the trade war that overnight Beijing says we are in. In fact, they're calling it the largest trade war in economic history to date, saying that President Trump putting those tariffs on Chinese-made goods is really the opening shot in this war.
Well, we will be watching, and that is Margaret Brennan on Face the Nation, hosting, and a U.S. representative, a permanent representative of the U.S. to NATO, Kay Bailey Hutchison, whom we know well here in Texas, Senator Joni Ernst, Republican of Iowa, Senator Chris Coons, Democrat of Delaware, from trade to Supreme Court to various other things, the upcoming Trump-Putin summit, all there on Face the Nation. Margaret, thank you. Follow on Twitter at, it's M-A-R-G, Marg, or Marge Brennan on Twitter, correct?
Marg Brennan, you got
Marg,
it.
M-A-R-G Brennan on Twitter. Margaret Brennan. Thank you, Margaret. Appreciate it very, very much. And yeah, let's spend a little moment on what lies ahead, shall we, in the Supreme Court hearings, because so I could feel Hugh Hewitt's joy that Kethledge is on the short list. And I do love that. I love Kethledge. I've followed Hugh's logic, and I share it. I've also followed the logic of people who have some trepidation about Judge Kavanaugh, and I share that. What ultimately gets me to the point of particular enthusiasm about Amy Coney Barrett, a couple of things. We as conservatives are supposed to be the people who do not care what race anybody is, do not care what sex anybody is. And it's just all about, for president, it's all about your head and your heart and your spine and your views and your policies, which is true. And for the court, it should be all about constitutional fidelity. And that's true. I had a call last week from a woman who said, Mark, I'm totally on board for that, not caring that the demographics are secondary. What we need most is constitutional fidelity. But she said, note the pronoun, she said, I take a look at womanhood. I take a look at, my half of the human race and how it is represented on the court. Is every girl growing up, is every woman going into law school, is every American supposed to look at womanhood on the Supreme Court and see it through the example of Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Elena Kagan, and Sonia Sotomayor? If there is room, if it's a coin flip, if there are X number of people who are great originalists, textualists, constitutionalists, go for the woman, man. Go for the woman. Go for Amy Coney Barrett, because there is just some magnificent lyrical beauty in having a woman help overturn Roe v. Wade. There is something magnificent about an example of genuine conservative womanhood on the Supreme Court. And I that's a strong point, man. That's a strong point. Let me augment it in the following way, if I can. There's a lot of talk about a conservative justice. Okay, we have liberal justices, so what we need are conservative justices. That is tricky phraseology. And in fact, I'd like you to stop saying that. I can't control you here, but here's what I mean. If you say a conservative justice is needed, that speaks to balance. Like we have liberal justices, so we need conservative justices. I don't care what a justice's personal politics are. I don't care whom a justice has voted for. I don't care what a justice thinks about borders or taxes. I don't even care what a justice thinks about abortion rights. You know why? Because what I need from that justice is constitutional clarity. You don't have to be pro-life or pro-choice to recognize the fact that Roe versus Wade is bad law. You don't need to, it doesn't matter. You can fight for abortion rights or against abortion rights in the state where you live once Roe v. Wade is overturned, and that's exactly what will happen. A bunch of constitutionally illiterate Americans believe that the moment Roe v. Wade is overturned, there's a national abortion ban. That is abject nonsense. You know what happens the moment Roe v. Wade is overturned? The Constitution is thus honored, and the nation becomes a patchwork of varying abortion laws. In states like mine here in Texas, and in places like, let's go Mississippi or Utah, there'll be some strong, and I mean strong, abortion restrictions. In California, Massachusetts, Vermont, I'm guessing they will craft some ghoulishly permissive abortion laws. I'll hate that. If I want to fight it, I can move to those states. And if people in those states don't like it, they can move. And the converse is true. That's what the founders intended. The 50 states, the United States of America, and this July 4th week is a really good time to revisit that. They envisioned laboratories of different living and different laws. It's a pretty short list of things that the federal government is supposed to lord over us about. Pretty short list of things. Everything else, and that's what the 9th and 10th Amendments are about, and why Roe v. Wade is terrible law. Roe v. Wade is not terrible law because I'm pro-choice. She shouldn't Justice Amy Coney Barrett, if she gets to do it, or Justice Raymond Kethledge should not. They should not overturn Roe v. Wade because they are pro-life. Their personal views are irrelevant. What they are called to do is not to be conservative on the court and forward a conservative political agenda. They are called to be constitutionalists and rule on what our founding document actually says and not make stuff up. So that's what I mean in saying talk about constitutionalists, originalists, rather than conservatives on the court. Because then it just looks like, well, we got some folks on the left, some folks on the right. We get a couple on the right. Let's get some more on the left. No, the Supreme Court is not a legislature covering a politically varied body of constituents. They are tasked with interpreting the Constitution. Now, the premise here is why are conservatives the only ones who care about the Constitution? We can examining a lot of things on this Friday. Mark Davison for Hugh Hewitt. Stick around.
Thanks, Mark. Don't forget to visit andrewandtodd.com, andrewandtodd.com. I can't do the market update. Obviously, I'm not watching the markets this morning. I'm sleeping in. But I can tell you that Andrew and Todd will get done for you what needs to get done. Andrew and Todd will absolutely deliver you the best home loan for your situation, but you got to get the ball rolling. They are not anything except the best. They are lenders. They are not brokers, and they do it from scratch. Even if you got dinged up credit at even down to 580, andrewandtodd.com. Answer a couple of questions, get on your way to a new mortgage, to a new life, to a new house. If you've been waiting to go and buy one, now is the time in the depth of summer with home prices stalled out a little bit, but rates still so low. andrewandtodd.com. They've been with Sierra Pacific Mortgage for so long that I keep forgetting to tell you AndrewandTodd.com have their own team. They will handle all your calls. All you have to do is start at 888-1172 or answer a couple of questions at AndrewandTodd.com. Finally, ReliefFactor.com. You didn't think I'd forget to let a day go by without reminding you to take it? That's really what this has become, the reminder to take it. A lot of you have ordered it, and you just need the nudge every morning. Oh, yeah, I'm listening to you. It's in my car. That, by the way, is a great place to leave it, in your car. You'll have a water bottle right there. These packages are so easy. They won't make it dangerous for you to drive. They open that easily. You can take it that quickly. Remember, ReliefFactor.com is a daily devotional to feeling good. It's the daily take that you want to be able to hit the brake without making your knee ache. I got to make a rhyme out of it to get Tarzana Joe to do something with that. Icarian and curcumin, resveratrol, and omega, those 4 natural ingredients combine to support the temporary relief of minor aches and pains for only $19.95. You start by finding the button for ReliefFactor.com at HughHewitt.com or going straight there, ReliefFactor.com. Next time you're at my website and you see it, just click it. Give it a try, like hundreds of thousands of other people every single day. ReliefFactor.com. Come right back for Mark Davis.
This is the Hugh Hewitt Show. The following is not an actor, but a real-life story from Trinity Debt Management.
It's probably been about 10 years ago. I had quite a few credit cards. The interest on the cards was really high. I was making the minimum payments, but barely. And it was just getting to be too much, so I called Trinity.
If you're in debt and you need help, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976 to talk to a certified counselor.
They met with me, and they were able to get all of my credit cards in one lower payment.
Trinity will consolidate your accounts into one easy-to-manage monthly payment, put a stop to late fees and over-limit charges, reduce your interest, and possibly improve your credit score. You'll save thousands.
They did help me learn how to manage my money. Now, we have a house, and we're doing a lot better.
If your debt has you down, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976.
My name is Holly, and I am debt-free for keeps.
1-800-990-6976.
Are you hiring? Do you know where to post your job to find the best candidates? Posting your job in one place isn't enough to find quality candidates. If you want to find the perfect hire, you need to post your job on all the top job sites. And now you can. With ZipRecruiter.com, you can post your job to 100 plus job sites, including social media networks like Facebook and Twitter, all with a single click. Find candidates in any city or industry. Just post once and watch your qualified candidates roll in to ZipRecruiter's easy-to-use interface. No juggling emails or calls to your office. Quickly screen candidates, rate them, and hire the right person fast. Find out today why ZipRecruiter has been used by over 400,000 businesses. And right